Welcome to another edition of Talking Models. Today we're going to look at Sherlock from the BBC series. An amazing series if you haven't watched this show. So clever. This guy is so clever. And it just brings another twist to Sherlock Holmes. We're looking today at a beautiful kit from Greenfield Studio by Martin Thomas, the sculptor. Martin did an amazing job with Sherlock. Let's take a look at it and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. If you take a look at it, he's in his famous, not trench coat, but his favorite suit. He's got his scarf like you've seen in the TV show. You have his shoes, the curly locks of hair that the actor is portrayed in, the serious ponder in his face as he's solving another case, a simple stone base with a beautiful little nameplate in the front, Sherlock Holmes, with a silhouette of Sherlock smoking his pipe. All in all, it's a beautiful piece. It's a large quarter scale. As you can see, it's got a really good size to it. It's a must-have if you're a fan of the show and if you're a fan of Sherlock Holmes. I picked this up at Wonderfest 2019 and I just stopped. I looked at it a few times, walked around, went back and spoke with Martin, and I think he had 2 left at the time, and I said, now you only got 1, and here we go. So let's talk about what I did to bring good old Sherlock to life today. Again, he was all base coated with automotive gray primer from Krylon. And once that was done, it was time to go to work. So what I did on this one is, of course, my Anita black acrylic. And that was hand brushed on the base completely. The jacket, the pants, the shoes, and the tie. And then it was time to go. So here we're going to start with the base. 2 colors I used to bring this out, Gargoyle Gray and Dead Guy Gray from Badger Freak Flex. Gargoyle Gray was first put on the base over the black. I just kind of shot it completely right over, covered everything, left a little hint of the black going so you can build your shadows. I then came in with transparent raw umber from Garage US Colors, and I just hit all the lines. Everywhere there's lines in the rocks where the rocks meet, I just punched it in with that transparent raw umber. Then I came in with the Dead Guy Gray and simply went over all the bricks kind of in the center area of them, kind of punched a little heavier and just filled that in. Then I came in with my trusty transparent black, and I just kind of misted the whole piece and accent a little bit more of some of the cracks, tops of the stones of the base, just kind of punched it in a little bit. Then it was a back and forth process with the Dead Guy Gray, transparent raw umber, transparent black, until I got what I was looking for. That was really all I did with the cobblestone base. Simple, huh? Now for a sign. I was trying to do something different, so I kind of experimented, and what I did is I went over it with this body bag black to really accent some more black in the base. I shot it with the airbrush, and then I came in with Freak Flex Hammer Horror Red. With a name like this, the good old Hammer movies, how can you go wrong? So I took that and I airbrushed the background, kind of shot it in, covered it nicely, and I really liked what I had going there. So it kind of gave it just a, I don't know, like a different color red for me. And it brought back the memories of Christopher Lee in the Hammer films. So once I had that done, I enlisted Freak Flex Old Wreck Rust, and I hand painted in the Sherlock Holmes. I hand painted it with that. I did about 2 or 3 coats because I like to get that not so it looks blotchy, but it looks like it was airbrushed. So 2, 3 light coats. And remember, the Freak Flex is designed to give you a nice hard base coat. It's really adhered to. It just really is good stuff. So once I had that done, I had to come up here and do the Arthur name here, Doyle. So what I did with that is I enlisted this Poisonous Plague Yellow from Badger Freak Flex. And I hand painted all the letters in, again, 2, 3 coats, and just take your time. What I found with these too, on when you have little letters like this, is originally before I start, because you know how tedious that can be with a really fine brush, I took like a, I don't know, medium brush, and I just kind of dry brushed it with that lightly, just went back and forth to get my bases in. I did that a couple times, and then I came in with a real fine brush, a zero brush, and just took a deep breath and just painted it in, because the color was there already, so it did make it easier. And then before I knew it, the lettering was done. Now for the Sherlock Holmes silhouette, I came in with the Badger Freak Flex Asphyxia Blue, and I airbrushed the figure in. And what I did then is came back in with the Body Bag Black and just kind of followed the design and just kind of did like an outline to the blue, just to kind of punch it up a little bit. Then I came in with some transparent black and just misted it over to kind of dull it down, but kind of make it look, I don't know, like a misty figure. And the base is done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, we're going to go on to his coat. So over the black, I came in with Nair Black and simply just started hitting all the highlights of the jacket. You just go over all of it, you know, follow the folds, the back, the pockets, the crinkles in his arms, the coat, just kind of hit it with that Nair Black. Then what I like to do is I come back in with the Body Bag Black and kind of punch in the shadows. Just kind of hit it heavy and feather it up from the shadow, from the pocket out to the fold. Just kind of layer that out, feather it in. Come back in with the transparent black, kind of mist it. Then I come back in with the Nair Black and go back and hit all the folds a little heavier, getting closer with your airbrush. Again, it's a process. You go back and forth, punching in your shadows, building up your highlights. The buttons on his coat, I just took the Nair Black and just hand painted them in. So that's why they stand out a little bit more. And so you just go back and forth until you get what you're looking for. And that's the process. I probably went back and forth 3-4 times. With each time coming back with that Nair Black, I would just get a little closer and really punch in the folds, and just so they stand out a little bit. Now for his scarf, I enlisted this Warlock Blue from Badger Freak Flex. I bought that set of 90 colors from Ken, and I'm using this stuff, guys. It's beautiful. You remember they had the little ones in the little jars? A lot of times those tended to clog in the airbrush. You'd thin them down, yeah, that's good. These I can just put a couple drops in and I can even spray it through my chrome and I never get a jam. Go figure. Magic down at Badger. So I used that Warlock Blue and I just painted in the scarf. I airbrushed it, did all the detail of it, just kept airbrushing, come in with that Body Bag Black, punched in all the shadows on the scarf, and the same process I used for the coat, I used for the scarf. Back and forth from the Warlock Blue, Body Bag Black, Warlock Blue, Body Bag Black, you get the picture. Once I had that done, just a light misting of the transparent black, and called it done. Now, for his pants, over the black, I just simply used a Dead Guy Gray, airbrushed it over, came back in with my Body Bag Black, and just kept punching in all the folds of his pants. Same process, back and forth, back and forth. And as you get more deeper into what you're developing in your shadows, come in real close with that Dead Guy Gray and kind of hit all the top folds of the pants, sides of the pants, back of the pants. You get the drill. It's just a back and forth process until you're done. His shoes, I enlisted this same brand as the black. It's Anita's Metallic Black. And that's what I painted the shoes with, just so it was a different color blacks coming together. Once you dull coat, the metallic doesn't show anymore, but it gives you a different hue of black, and that's what I was looking for. So I just painted that in, came in with the Body Bag Black, and just punched in the top part of his shoes, just so a difference from black to black. And then a light misting of transparent black, it's done. That easy. So what we got left is Mr. Holmes' face. So as we go up to Sherlock here, for his face, I used a couple different colors for his face. I used the Pale Flesh from Freak Flex, and I used Tan Highlight, and Tan Shadow from the Reaper Master series. And I also use this Freestyle Natural Transparent Flesh. So I began with the pale flesh from Freak Flex over the face. Then I came in with the transparent flesh and just kind of hit below the eyes, a lot along the top, and the nose, folds, the lips, the chin, just kind of punched in a little bit of shadowing. And then what I like to do is I'll pull out the Master Series paints. And for that I pulled in the tan highlight and just started punching in the cheekbones, bottom of the chin, below the nose, top of the nose, sides of the nose, foreheads, ears. You just kind of go in and punch that, not too heavy because you want to leave some of the other work that you've done, but you don't want to really leave the big starkness of the transparent pale flesh. So once I had that done, I thinned down some of the tan flesh shadow and just kind of once again punched in a little bit more of the creases in his face and just did a waltz to kind of tie it all together, if you will. Then I came in with some pastels and I just started working in the below the cheeks, around the lips, around the nose, the bridge of the nose. You just kind of work that in with I used some browns with this one, and I also used one that's similar to a burnt sienna below his eyes, sides of his nose, follow that cheekbone, and just kind of work it in. I used a light red pastel, and I just did that, his lips that way. I just kind of worked that pastel in. And then what I like to do then on the lips is I like to use this color from Garage US Colors, Tongue, and just kind of mist it a little bit, kind of in the center of the lips, like if you looked at your lips. And that really was his face. That was the process of building up his flesh tones. Now, for his eyes, of course, bleach bone tan from Freak Flex was used for the basic eye color. The pupil was used with Body Baked Black. I just followed the what Martin had in there for the eye, fill it all in with the black. Then I came in with Freak Flex Got Ill Green, and I used that for my eye color. I just drew that in and did that a couple of coats, again, do it slow. And then it was just simply a matter of coming back in with your black, dotting the pupil, and calling the eye done. I did use this tongue to go along the bottom of the eye too. I just took a real fine brush and I kind of just gently followed that bottom of the eye there, so you have that natural look that we have with our eyes. And his face was done. Last but not least are the golden locks of Sherlock. Over the black, I enlisted this Delta Cream Coat Dark Brown and just started dry brushing. Hit all the tops of the fold, put it in the, I use Scott towel, just wipe all the paint off, just brush it till you really see minimal coming off, and then just start taking with your dry brush, a nice flat brush, just start hitting the hair. It just pops out like magic. So I worked a little heavier on the sides, on the top, and just went back and forth with it. I did use some of the transparent black to kind of tone it down and tie it all together. Same process for his eyebrows was used, except I just used a real thin brush and just kind of lightly thinned it down and just painted it in there a little bit. And that, everyone, is Sherlock, a beautiful, beautiful one-scale kit from Greenfield Studios, available now. They're over in England, but contact Martin. I'll have his information at the end of this video, in the body of the video. Hit him up and tell him you want to pick up one of these Sherlocks and you saw it on Talking Models, you're a fan of the BBC series, and you got to have it. It's that simple. So, thanks for stopping in today to Talking Models. I'd love for you to subscribe, help me to get to 200. Would you help me today? Would you come alongside just an average guy who loves building and painting models, talking about models, a producer in the model industry, and just a guy that just loves the hobby? If that's you, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Spread the word, get the word out, and let people know about Talking Models, where we talk about models. So thanks again for stopping in. Have a great day, and as always, may the Lord bless your day.